Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. Okay, I see that everyone is already here in this meeting. Hence, I will start off our meeting for today. First and foremost, I would like to extend my warm welcome to Ms. Fatin Raisha, our secretary, and Ms. Adiba, Ms. Aina, and Mr. MAHD. As you all know, the purpose of us gathering here today is to discuss on the progress of our project Alpha. And as everyone have been notified, you have been trusted with a project invested by Surya Holdings, Surya Berhad, with a budget of RM 250 million. The theme of this project is Educational Charm Business Venture or Global Tech Merging with Nature. Alright, so before we proceed on the agenda today, Ms. Fatin, I believe that you have sent all the first minute meeting to all the committee members. So are there any mistakes or corrections that needs to be made?
Hello, Mr. Nueim. So I just, um, as mentioned by you just now, I already signed the minute of meeting through email for everyone. So is there any mistake that I have to do the corrections?
Okay, sorry Miss Fatin, but I think there is an error which is you missed the word Gen Y on the generation list in the section 2.0. And another thing is the approximate cost should be of around 250 million ringgit, but in the minutes you've sent to us is stated that our budget was 150 million ringgit. So I think you need to change on that part.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Aina. Other committees, is there any problem with the minute of meetings?
Pardon me, Miss Fatin. I think there is a spelling mistake in section 3.2. It is supposed to be Pasir Gudang, and there is an error in Miss Julie's name. So the correct spelling is Miss Julie Lim.
At 3.5 section, is that correct?
3.2.
For Mrs. Judy name.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Adiba. Okay. Any problems? Mahadi?
Okay, one more thing, Mrs. Fatin, is the slight error in section 4.1, which is the company name is supposed to be Surya Holding. Surya is capital letter, Holding, not Surya Holding. You need to change that part. That's all.
Is that I think it's about the spelling for the Surya Holding.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Thank you, Mahadi.
Welcome.
Okay. Thank you for all the correction. The mistakes that you all have mentioned just now. Later I will do the correction and I will send it again through the email.
Okay, thank you everyone for giving a great feedback, and I think everyone have read the first minute meeting really attentively, so good for that. Okay, with that settled, let's move on to our agenda today. So as I have listed, we have three agendas that needs to be discussed here today. The first one is we are going to share findings on each side that will be presented by the elected committee members, which is Mr. Mahade, Ms. Adiba, and Ms. Aina. And the next agenda is that we will have a group discussion on the pros and cons of each side presented. And the last agenda is we are going to select the best side based on the discussion that we are going to have later on. Alright, so without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Mahade to share with us his findings and proposed project on the first location, which is Bukit Belacan in Ampang, Selangor. Alright, Mr. Mahade, you may proceed. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nueim. Okay, so I will start about my presentation first. Okay. Okay, so the place that I choose to run my project is I choose Bukit Belacan because Bukit Belacan it is an interesting and strategic place because it is close to
Well, I guess Mr. Mahdi is having is having a festival in his house area. So whenever the fireworks has stopped, you may proceed.
okay, sorry, Mr. Nueim, because the place very disturbing. Okay, can I wait to continue my present?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the place I choose is Bukit Belacan because Bukit Belacan is strategic place because it is close to the capital city of Kuala Lumpur, where in 1 hour we can get here, and very vehicle that we can use to reach this place. Among them are cars, buses, and trains. Also, it is also close to various facilities such as bus station, monorail, and shopping malls. And we can find this area on the internet, and many signboard are provided for us to reach this area. Okay, the area of Belacan Hill is estimated at 10 km square. The terrain here is hilly but suitable for development because of its strong soil structure. And then the temperature in Bukit Belacan is humid because it is close to the Titiwangsa Range, which is a protector to the western states of Peninsular Malaysia. And the weather in Bukit Belacan equatorial condition. Okay, in my planning, I want to make this Bukit Belacan area as a tourist attraction area because of the hilly terrain and because it is has a beautiful waterfall. And then I will develop a resort that is characterized by nature while maintaining the sustainability of flora and fauna in this area. Okay, and then the resort will build a hall where it will be used for a study tour program by giving talk to school and university students about the importance of caring for nature. And then I will provide a sanctuary area for fish found in the waterfall area in our resort. And I believe this project will provide a meaningful experience to tourists from within and outside the country because of the uniqueness found in our resort. Okay, that's all from me, Mr. Im. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mahdi, for that interesting sharing session. We will discuss on the points that you have delivered just now after finishing this presentation. All right. So next, I would like to invite Miss Adiba to share about your findings.
Thank you, Mr. Nueim, for allowing me the opportunity to express my thought. I do want to discuss a feasible proposal at an empty old warehouse in Pasir Gudang, Johor. So to introduce a little bit about the location or site is to provide a spot to carry out the Project Alpha. This warehouse is large, I mean spacious, and suite for a very variety of activities with a capacity of up to 1,000 people. Okay, that is ideal for educational events as well as business events, which I will describe later. Okay, additionally, improvement are required to make the environment more favorable. We especially wish to hold educational events for young children and teenagers. Aside from that, I note that the electrical wiring needs to be done so that the event may go off without a hitch. Then I want to continue about the Alpha project that I would like to suggest at this site. For educational activities, I propose that we hold large-scale exhibitions connected to the theme of learning in school. Students from Singapore's Johor Bahru and Skudai Johor can attend these exhibitions. This is due to the warehouse proximity to the three quarters. Furthermore, for entertainment-related activities, we may modify the warehouse into a badminton or futsal court. Such activities are quite pleasant at the warehouse. This court has several advantages because in addition to providing as a badminton and futsal court, it can also be used for other sports. As a result, the next generation can undertake such activities on the court with their pals. The region is also close to residential and urban areas, making it easy for the general public and students to identify and visit the place. When I conducted the environmental impact assessment with a team of specialists, I discovered that first and foremost, the warehouse is 5,600 meters square. It is also 18 kilometers from Singapore and 32 kilometers from the town of Johor Bahru. We already know that is in a densely populated area and that is used to store large farming machine. Okay, then to elaborate on the cost of the chosen site, I will add that the rent which we negotiate with the committee's member came to 1,000 ringgit and additional expenses will be assessed for the cleaning and decoration purpose. Okay, that is all from me about the site at the warehouse Pasir Gudang, Johor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Adiba, for the very comprehensive report on your selected site. Okay, moving on to the next committee member, Miss Aina, for the last location, which is Bukit Ko, Terengganu, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nueim. So for my for the acres that for the sites that been given to me, which is Bukit Komarang, Terengganu, I've done my research on that places, and it's actually quite how do you say very potential to do a business, as there is lots of grasses over. There is lots of natural road resources at that places, and it also have decent access for transportation to pass through, and it also have chilly, warm tropical environment. Should I continue or how?
Yes, you may just continue with your explanation.
Dah, kejap kak, aku macam line slow.
If you're having internet problems, but here it sounds just okay, so you may proceed.
Okay. Because I heard your voice not very clear. Nak teruskan ke Hatim keluar?
Teruskan je, tak apa, teruskan je.
Nanti dia nak bangkang macam mana? Tak apa? Tak dengar?
Tak apa, nanti aku pause.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry for the site that been given to me, which is Bukit Kor, has a decent access for big transportation because it is has abundance of natural resources, and it also is a chilly, warm tropical environment that is suitable for the project that I've been taking on, and it also has it's also available on maps where it could ease the direction for visitors to come, and it also has a decent place to build for the project that I've been thinking on. And in Bukit Kor, it's actually about 20 kilometers from Kuala Terengganu, where it is of around 22 minutes to arrive, which is quite short distance for any suppliers to come. Okay, so for the project that I've been thinking for this site is that I want to do a venture business of Mafriwal cows with high-tech milking farm. This is due to the places that been this is due to the places that I'm sorry. This is due to the places that has of 600 acres, where actually Bukit Kor is a place where it has been given to UMT for their uh, limited uh, limited areas, and so um, due to that, they have been given a place for UMT to open a new campus in Bukit Kor. So I was thinking that we could, I mean, I could, uh, so I was thinking that we could do a venture business of cow mafiwal, where it actually bring an opportunity to the students of UMT to do the project. So the project is actually included with a cost of around with the below 150 million ringgit that been given, and it's included with the cost of the cow, which is of around 5,000 ringgit, and the cost of other operational costs such as cow shed, milking technology, and also their food and other resources. And not only that, this business could actually propose a good opportunity for the alpha, I mean the generation alpha, where the generation alpha these days has many times on the internet that they could not even uh, have the opportunity to feel the real situation. So the venture of business milking cow is actually to show them how actually milking production works, and how the process of milk production uh, is done. And the the temperature at Bukit Kor is of around 24 degree to 31 degrees Celsius, and it also has it also sometimes rain interspersed with sunny days, where it's actually a suitable place for to do this project, as it is very perfect for the venture of business with the high tech that is proposed by the for this alpha project. That is all from me. Thank you.
All right. All right. So thank you, Miss Aina, for that rather interesting survey and proposed project. So just now something unplanned happened. So I believe Miss Fatin were disconnected from this Google Meet, right? But I think Miss Aina has already sent a draft or like a report on your survey, right? Miss Aina?
Oh, I could not do that yet. Should I send it to Miss Fatin?
You may send it to her now so that she could read it right um, before wrapping up this meeting. I think you could send it to her right now.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Aina. Sorry for the problem.
All right. That is not a problem because yeah, we are doing this online, so internet connection problems is unevitable. Okay. So okay, after hearing everyone's point, I'm sorry. If are there any more additional information that any of the committee members want to add before we move on to discussion? Nothing? All right. So If there's no additional information regarding the sites in survey, let us move on to the next agenda. As you have been told earlier, we need to choose only one project to proceed with. Hence, let us discuss on the sites that have been mentioned. So I think we will go to Mr. Mahathir's location first and proposed project. So before I give my comment on his project, so are there any committee members that wants to say anything about his project? Our secretary, if you have any points. Okay, you don't have. Okay, so Mr. Mahathir, I have a question for you. The proposed project that you have presented to us earlier, I have I have a bit of a trouble to understand about the part where global tech meets nature. It's like I understand the concept that you're trying to propose to us, but can you please elaborate more?
Okay, sorry, Mr. Nueim. Which part I want to elaborate?
Your proposed project is where you want to build a facility near the forest reserve.
Okay, actually, Bukit Belacan totally forest reserve, but uh, I want to try to make Bukit Belacan is as a tourist attraction. Can you do you get me, Mr. Nueim?
Okay, I understand the part about the tourist attraction. So where does the educational part comes into play?
Okay, as I said in the present, I want to build a hall which is it will be used to a student, school student and university student to do a program such as program lawatan sambil belajar. Okay, in this program, my resort will provide a facilitator that will teach them about important of uh, important of wait, maintaining the sustainability of the nature. Do you get me, Mr. Lee?
So that is the part where I'm conflicted with your statement. Is that you are trying to convey like knowledge about sustaining nature, but at the same time you are trying to build a facility on a forest reserve ground. So do you think that we will have problems with authorities or like the general um, citizen view on our project, because we are doing this
Okay,
project on forest reserve ground?
okay, Mr. Im. For your information, uh, if I want to build my resort, I will not totally cut off the tree, which is I will choose a strategy area to build my resort lah. So the point is I will totally not cut the tree lah. So that will maintaining the flora and fauna in Bukit Belacan.
Okay, I see. Okay, that clears it up. Are there any committee members that wants to comment on this project?
In my opinion, I think Mahathir's proposal is quite interesting. Because he plans to do a project where um, like he wants to do the how to see the project to attract the tourists, as the project will be developed around the nature. I believe that he wants to create a resort um, with how to say with nature. He wants us to feel connected or really close to the nature. Right, Mahdi?
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Um,
For
yeah.
your information, I will use the wood that from the Bukit Belacan, and I will recycle that to build my resort.
Uh-huh.
So it's like recycle. You get me, Mr. Nueim?
So wait a minute. So before this, you said you are not going to cut down any trees at Bukit Lachan to build the facility.
No, he said he will build the resort where he will choose only a certain part of
Yes,
the
Okay,
that's
so
area.
correct.
he wants to build it
That's
not
correct.
not at the forest reserve, but he's going to use the trees in the forest reserve to build the resort.
Uh-huh,
Is that
uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Are we going to
Yes.
have any problems with that actually?
But I think it will be quite an issue because it is the forest reserve. You get me?
Yeah, of course. It is a forest reserve. It is like really hard or impossible even to cut down any trees at that forest reserve. Okay. Okay, thank you, Atin, for clearing that up. I was confused a bit just now. Okay, so other than Atin, does any committee members wants to ask any questions?
Sorry
Um,
for
it's okay. You first.
Sorry for interrupting. Okay, I just want to give a little insight about your project. I think this area in Bukit Belacan is not suitable for any construction because this is the area is full of nature, which is very detrimental if we destroy it. Therefore, for me, that I think that the place at your site is not suitable for the construction. That's all.
Yeah, and I agree with Miss Adiba for with the point because during construction, of course, there will be pollution like air pollution, water pollution. So I think it will have a negative impact towards the environment if you were to build a facility near the forest reserve. So I think we will have a vote, but I think this project would have a lot of uh, you say negative impact when compared to its benefits actually. Okay, so I think that's all for Mr. Mahadi's project. uh, please wait a moment, there is some interference happening in the background. Okay, okay, so for Miss Adiba's location, which is at Pasir Gudang, Johor, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
Mr. Naim.
all right. So, does anyone wants to ask a question first?
I have a question for your project, Miss Adiba. So I was actually confused of what project you're actually going to do at the site. Can you please
Um,
elaborate more? Thank you.
okay, thank you, Miss Aina. Okay, at the site, I want to hold a large-scale exhibitions connected to the themes of learning in schools. Yes, which we can. I made the place for the exhibition so that the other institute may come to do the exhibitions. Other than that, for the entertainment-related activities, I want to modify the warehouse for the to the badminton and futsal court so that the maybe students next generation, young generation will come and play at the court.
So you're saying it's actually like a multi-purpose warehouse for them to use?
Yes, yes.
So I was guessing how would it how we attract? I mean, will the equipments will be prepared there already, or the I mean, how would it
Equipment.
constitute the cost of 150 million ringgit?
I think for the site, we can still use the 250 millions because we need to rebuild against the warehouse, add the decorations and maybe the electricity, the lamps, the sites. So they need to use a lot of cost to make them.
Okay, that is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Miss Aina, and thank you for explaining, Miss Adiba. So before I'm going to give my comments about Miss Adiba's project, I would like to say that a few of the points in this location and the proposed project is actually in my favor. So the first one is that um, because of the uh, ready-made structure of the warehouse, we would be able to cut costs on the construction quite a bit, because to build like a rooftop, the walls, and also to prepare the land for construction is usually cost a lot in construction. Okay, so that is a very good attribute for this project. But my question is, Ms. Adiba, is you are planning to run multiple sectors on that warehouse. So my question is, how would you limit or even um, avoid from using excessive electricity in that warehouse? Because as you all know, electricity. Oh my God, sorry. Something caught my throat. Okay. As you all know, electricity, as well as other things, it is some of the most expensive commodities that a company would need to pay. So, please, Adiba. Please, Miss Adiba.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nueim, for the question given. Okay, so the one main issue that I also discovered is that because of the site is so huge, spacious, so the electricity usage may surpass the precise limit given by the TNB. So I suggest we must do and implement energy management and auditing procedures. For example, we can implement daylight savings or limit our use of electricity at night when we are not engaged any activities or projects. So as a result, our project will use less electricity while simultaneously becoming more eco-conscious and focus on global technology and environmentally friendly themes.
Okay. I think that is very much implementable on this project. And you said just now that this warehouse site is actually very near to the main road, right?
Yes.
So I think being near the road, like people that goes past by the site project, the project site, would actually like it is very visible to the public eye. So I think that is one of the ways to cut costs on advertising, because it is already there near by the road. Okay, so um, I think that's all from me. Are there any more questions from Mr. Mahdi or Miss Fatin?
Okay, I have a question because I'm a bit confused for the exhibitions. Is the warehouse will be used for any educational occasions like um, like when for example, if the student is having or organizing what we call like um, what for example, if art student will organize a program there related to the art, so they can just use the place.
Yes, they can come and maybe booking first the exhibition sites so that they will be not clash to either institute. That is
So
my yes.
so basically the place will be rented for
Right.
anyone who
Yes,
will
rented.
doing for any occasions lah.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Okay, I think there's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Fatin, for the question. So are there any more questions from Mr. Mahdi?
Okay, from me, no other question.
Okay, so no questions. All right, so that wraps up for Miss Adiba's project, and as I have said, for Mr. Mahadi's project, we will have a vote right after this. So for the last project, Miss Aina, which is at Bukit Terengganu, and um, plans to carry out what project again?
It's actually a venture business for high-tech milking cow.
All right. Okay. Are there any questions? Miss Fatin? You seem like you want to press the unmute button. No. Okay.
Okay, sorry, from
Okay.
me.
Mahdi.
Okay, Miss Aina, can you explain a little bit about your costing for your project? Little bit.
So, okay, for the cost that I found so far is actually roughly it's actually maybe not does not reach of the amount that suited with the amount that been given, but as it is not uh, it is actually not that, how do you say, not that multiples of equipments needed, as actually we only need to buy cows to prepare their foods and also the milking technologies for the cow. So from what I've researched is the cow is actually of around 5k, and for the cow shed is actually of around maybe like 1.5k, and it doesn't, and maybe we could say that the roughly cost is around only 2 million or so for a year, because I don't actually do the detailed cost for that project yet, as it's actually a proposal. So yeah.
Okay, so for now, do you have any collaborators to joint venture with your company?
So far, no. I haven't done any research on that.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Aina.
Sure. Thank you for the question too.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mahdi, for the question. So for me, same as Mr. Mahdi's location site. Actually, I'm not that keen into disrupting the environments, like landscape or even modifying anything about the environment, especially where um, there is like animals living in that location. So that is the same like comment that I have for Miss Aina's project. Um, so you're doing like technology on technology on cow milk, right? So,
True.
what who will be your target audience actually? Is it like university students or like farmers or high school students? Please explain on that.
Okay, first of all, I would like to correct a little bit about the touch the environment. Is actually from what I researched, the build of the cow shed is actually not doesn't touch much of the Bukit Core places, as it's only have it doesn't need too much reconstruction of the Bukit Core's geography, because and it can also sustain the nature of Bukit Core, because as you know, cows is a herbivore animals, so they also need the grass for their food. So from that, it's actually good for the Bukit Core, because the how do you say, the poop, the you know what I mean? It's actually a good fertilizer uh, for the plants there, and and it's also good for the environment surrounding. Well, for to answer your question as what is my targeted community, is actually very public, because this project is can be done. Uh, I mean, it can also target on the target community of the high school students, the youngest generation, and also the farmers, and also the business people, because this milking production can be done in a wide range of uh, how do you say, uh, wide range of diversify business. As it can be exhibition for the school students to see how the milking production works, and it also can be business on milking of the cows, which is mafriwal, as it has a good quality of milk, and it also a good opportunity for the farmers, Malaysian farmers who wants to who wants to try to do the jobs at the project that will be done on the sites. So it's actually a wide range of target community.
Okay, Ms. Anna, thank you for answering. But despite you saying that the feces and urine of the cows would not negatively impact the ecosystem of Bukit Core, but uh, as we all know that Bukit Core is actually a tourist attraction for Terengganu people and also Malaysians, in fact. So, wouldn't the feces and urine produced by the cows would be like a turn off for tourists that comes to have a leisure time, to have a like to hike there, but then they would have to smell that piss and urine produced by the cows.
It's actually quite the unique of the project, actually, because it's actually an experience for them to feel the scenery actually, because we don't usually see that daily, because cows actually being situated far away from homes, from from companies, I mean for the buildings, so it's actually not a negative thing to look at, actually, because it's actually a new experience for them to experience the nature, as you can say.
Um, okay, I get your point, but I think we have to like double check with the
Mm, yeah.
environment impact analysis department before like approving this project, uh, because because we are playing around with the ecosystem and we are introducing like foreign substance which is the feces towards Bukit Core. So I don't think that Bukit Kau has cows on top of it. So I think you have to like. Do you have cows in Bukit Kau?
Actually, as I mentioned before during my proposed project is actually Bukit Ko. I mean the UMT, the place that been given to UMT has a cow that farm there. I mean, how do you say? They farm the cows there. Is that how they say?
Oh, I see. So like the
Mm-hmm.
cow
So
farm
it's
is
actually not anything.
the cow farm is already there. So you are trying to
Yeah.
build a new cow farm there. Another cow
Mm,
farm.
yeah, actually the cow farm is for their meat. This one is for the milk.
Oh, milk.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
see. Hmm. My worry there would be like some sort of conflict between our project and also with their like project actually. But okay, thank you for the explanation. Um, so after hearing everyone's point of view, I think we need to make a vote. But before we vote, I would like to like explain about the voting process. Um, you may vote for your own project, but please be like open-minded and also like being um, open to other projects because yeah sometimes the location of our the location of this the survey that you all have done may or may not be suitable. So before that, I would like to recap a few things. So for Mr. Mahathir's project, he wants to build a resort near the forest reserve. He is not touching any of the forest resort, forest reserve to build the resort, but he is using the trees in the forest reserve, which is a big problem. Okay, and also about the issue regarding the pollution when during the construction towards the environment, there is also a big issue. And for Ms. Adiba's project, which is trying to build an expo in Pasir Gudang, Johor, I think there is like a few very good attributes, which is like as I have said earlier, which is we can save on advertising due to the location of it being near the road, and also uh, the already built warehouse there would also be cost efficient because we do not need to build a facility from scratch, and so we can channel the extra funds towards other projects. I mean to other sections in the warehouse. Okay, so for Miss Aina's project, also having the same issue because we need to double check with the EIA before proceeding with this project, and also about the conflict that may arise between UMT's division and our project. So I think having that said, let us have a vote. So I would start with Mr. Mahathir's project. So who agrees or who wants to proceed with Mr. Mahathir's project? Ms. Fatin, please take note about the votes. Okay, so we are currently on Mr. Mahathir's project. So you may count how many people agrees with Mr. Mahathir. So okay, Mr. Mahathir, who agrees with his project? Mr. Mahathir, are you lifting up your hand or not actually?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Because it's my project, so I will raise my hand.
okay, so you're supporting your own project. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Miss Fatin
Okay,
has
so
already recorded that.
yeah, one vote for Mahdi's project.
Okay, so Miss Adiba's project. Who wants to support Miss Adiba's project? Me personally, I vote for Miss Adiba's project. Okay, so 3 votes.
Okay, 3 votes.
Okay, so for Miss Aina's project. Okay, so 2 votes. 1 vote or 2
Thank
votes?
you.
Mr. Mahathir?
Two votes.
Mr. Mahathir
Mr.
voted as
Mahathir.
well. Okay. Alright, so 2 votes. Okay. I think Miss Adiba has the most votes, right, Miss Fatin?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, alright. So, okay, based on our discussion just now and also with the vote tally, we have come into a conclusion that the project that will be carried out is Miss Adiba's project, which is the Expo in Pasir Gudang, Johor. Okay, are there any objections?
No from me.
Okay, Mr.
No from
Mahathir?
me as well.
Oh, Miss
Also
Aina.
no from me.
Miss Aina, you don't have any objections, right? Okay. Okay, so if there is no objections, I declare that today's meeting has come to a close and will be carried forward into the next meeting. Okay, so can we schedule for the next meeting, Miss Fatin?
Yeah, can.
Can we meet again at on 7 March?
7th March. I
Yeah,
think that would be fine.
about 1 week from now.
Right for now. Okay.
Yeah, can.
So I think Miss Adiba, after this, you may proceed with the a much more comprehensive report, like what are you going to do in the expo, and you may provide a list of things that you want to do. So Miss Fatin, do you want to do a short recap or anything before we end our meeting?
For today's meeting,
Yep.
is it Nueim?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so for today's meeting, the first that we did is feedback for the last minute of meetings. So I have to do the corrections for that part. And just now we discussed. Each committee proposed their own project at their own site, and decided to choose Adiba's project, which is at Pasir Gudang, Johor. The empty warehouse will be done for the I'm sorry for is it for exhibition site, right?
Yes.
Okay. So and our next meeting will be done on 7 March on Monday. I think that's all for today's meeting.
All right. Thank you, Miss Fatin. Okay. And I hope today's minute meeting would be sent as soon as possible to us, me, and also to us all the committee members, so that we could make corrections if there is any more mistakes or corrections that needs to be made. Okay, so I guess that is it. Thank you for your participation here today and active involvement into this meeting, and we'll see you again in the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Naim and everyone.